the most important technical priority, in my humble opinion, is sound. And if your sound is cool, you're cool. If your sound is not, you're not cool. Nothing else really is going to work. Rhythm, the chords and scales. If your sound sucks, it all sucks, period. So you got to really get that together. And the thing about sound is really funny. Is sound is really affected by the room. So you have to get your head straight. Because you can be in a room where if you're in your practice room and it sounds beautiful in your practice room, let's say you practice in the bathroom, which has a real resonant thing. If you like that sound, you go to a club and there's no reflective surfaces and it sounds all dead, you're going to be freaked out. Where's my sound? You know? So sound is a physical thing, but it's also mental. And so you really have to get a handle on that. That's super important. Because if your sound is a drag in your own mind, you can't sing, you can't play. It's just a bummer. It's like, oh God, oh man, it's gonna be a long gig. You know, everything I say is bad. I mean, it's gonna be a long gig. You know, everything that's bad is going. Oh, it's gonna be a 12-hour gig. That's only 2 hours. It's like, it's gonna be like a 12-hour gig. So, you know, if you don't want your 2-hour gig to be a 12-hour gig, then you should get your head straight, right? So we do what we need to do to work on our sound. That's the most important thing. So the question is, where does a great sound start? Where do you start with a great sound?
By imitating.
Yeah. What's that?
Imitating.
Imitating is how you get to it. But where does it start? Like when you're gonna make it. Like we're gonna play. I'm gonna play right now. Where do I start with where does my sound start?
In your head.
In your head. Say that again. In your
head.
I love it.
Yeah.
He said the same thing. Yeah. It starts here, right? So if you have your sound here, get your head straight. Everything else back to that. Get your mind straight. You got a shot at getting it together. So if you get it in here, and you hear it in your ear, right? You hear it, and you develop it by imitating. So you're absolutely right as well. That's where you start with the learning of it. You learn your sound by listening to master players and imitating, trying to get a sound that's like Ella Fitzgerald or like Sonny Rollins or like whoever you want to sound like, right? That we address soft and loud. That's very important. So because we play at different dynamic levels, and it's not just about projecting your sound and being super loud, it's about having control of your sound. And so you do whatever it takes to get to that. So nice shape, and keep it smooth, keep it steady, keep it in tune. Usually I recommend everyone to use a tuner when you do long tones, because if you use a tuner and your ear, not just a tuner, but use your ear as well, tuner will do this, move a little bit. And if you see it do this, and you listen at the same time, you're gonna learn something. You're gonna learn what a quarter tone or 20 cents sounds like. You know what I mean? Flat or sharp. You're gonna learn that by watching the tuner. Will help you learn what that is. It'll reinforce your ear if you engage your brain that way. So you bring that to your tuner when you're doing that. You look and you listen and you keep it as steady as you can, and you listen to what happens as it moves, because every wind instrument and the voice has different responses to different pitches. The higher you are, it has, in particular, especially with voices, it just feels different at the different dynamic levels. And that's why the dynamic is so important, because you really want to get a handle on the dynamic side of it, right? So that's one, you do that exercise on every note in your range. The other way to do long tones is with a tune. Like you could do play Naima, for example, which is lots of long notes, different keys. It helps you to get used to playing something in a different key, and it sounds beautiful. Which I think every exercise that you always play, I should say this too for practice. Every exercise you play should be played like a song. Should be played beautifully. Get in the habit of playing beautifully. Everything, scales, chords, everything should sound beautiful, and strong and musical, right? And if you get that going, then you'll develop good habits of musicality. Should have rhythm. Everything you practice should have rhythm. Like pay attention to the rhythm. If you want to get better rhythm, which I think we probably all do, right? Then practice at all times with strong rhythm. Everything you practice. Except as you're working through a difficult passage, you have to do it really slow, and you're working through the fingerings. So maybe at first, whatever it is, okay, you just out of time as you're working through the fingerings. As soon as you can get it in time, get that metronome down slow, and practice anything, whatever it is that you're trying to get through, slow but in time. Hugely important, very extremely good habit to just practice things in time. Whatever it is, including long tones. Do long tones with a metronome. I was kind of, in my mind, as I was playing my Naima or the long tones, I was doing this in my mind. Metronome at 60. Just going. So that I have a time reference and it helps me to be mindful of rhythm. Right? So, which is the next big area besides sound is rhythm. You can practice both of them together. And again, make progress. Get yourself stronger and more perceptive of rhythm.